Yo, what's the deal, y'all? This is another episode of Boxing One, the podcast. I'm Briah.
I'm Lyric.
Kobe.
My name is Ryan, also known as DJ Run It. I don't know which camera to look at, but I'm looking at all four of them.
And we have an interesting one today. I actually got this topic from people that are very close to me. Why change is necessary for growth. I think that change is the only thing that is constant in life. So for you guys, what has been the biggest change in your lives thus far?
I mean, the biggest change, I would say like moving into adulthood. Cause like you start to do stuff and you start to realize like how either unprepared you were or how prepared you were for certain things. And you start to see other people, how they handle it. And you get that real life experience and realize like the world ain't the same that it was literally 2 or 3 years ago, how you perceived it. So your perception can quickly switch up in the span of a couple months to a couple years just by you turning 20, 21. Like, for example, I remember the first time I got pulled over by a cop, and they literally, you could tell that I was being, like, racially profiled, but at the same time, it's like, dang, is that happening now because I'm, like, older? Because when I was younger, this type of stuff didn't happen. They just had, like, a bigger kid. Or, you know, you realize the first time that you had to actually pay a bill or that you had to have something to do. You realize, you realize real quick, like,
bills.
oh, shit, this shit is real. So I think that's the biggest
right
change
now.
is the move into adulthood. I mean, at the end of the day, I look at it like this: in order to do something you never did, in order to get something you never had, you got to do something you never did. So change is inevitable, but a lot of times those changes can be something that you weren't exactly prepared for or didn't expect.
I gotta agree with you. I say two things. We could do two things, right? I say adulthood, of course, because if I could go back to being a kid right now, I definitely would. When I got my first bill, I wanted to cry. When I got my first check, that was probably like $30. I thought I was rich. But I would also say change for me would also be my health. Like being diagnosed with epilepsy in 2013 and having to adjust to that, and also being diagnosed with lupus in 2019 and having to adjust to that. And still trying to get my health in order and still trying to get everything in remission. It's like you don't ever wake up thinking that you're gonna have any of these conditions.
Right. Yeah.
And when you do have them, you kind of gotta adjust to it. Yeah, it's sometimes you can ask Kobe. I find myself getting down and questioning like, why is this happening to me? But then I realize like I gotta take it day by day, and God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers or whatever. So I just, I would say it's those two.
Speaking of, though, like what you just said about health, I mean, these two still kind of young, so they getting there. But, I don't know if y'all,
Ryan is a grown man,
I don't know how often y'all go to the doctor or not. And I know everybody has their own conditions that they're dealing with, but you learn real quick, like one, how expensive stuff actually is and whether you could actually afford to do something real quick. Like you go to the dentist and that pain that you felt in your teeth feeling real manageable once you get that bill handed to you. Or you go to the doctor's office and even just seeing like the real life issues that you might even be predisposed to because of your either family history, because of your choices that you've been making unaware up to this point. So a lot of times, for example, the way you've been eating in things like high school, a lot of people, when they get to, adulthood, they realize that they have stuff like high blood pressure, high cholesterol. They are experiencing side effects of things like type 2 diabetes. And people who start to drink in high school, they realize real quick when they get to adulthood and they go to the doctors, they realize real quick about things like alcohol disease and all other types of stuff. So
liver
real
disease,
quick you realize like, like life starts to hit you real quick in that department as well with the health aspect, not just finances, because those are some of the two main things you'll usually face, but the health aspect. Like if you don't have any, a lot of times, and you guys know it's hard to get insurance as a young adult. When you actually do get a chance to go see these doctors, you realize how long it's been and how much you've neglected or how great you have been doing. It's like an eye-opener, I just went to the doctor a couple of weeks ago, and I was completely shocked because the guy's sitting there. He's like, oh, you must be, you must have high blood pressure. I said my blood pressure is 110 over, whatever. That's pretty good. He just looked at me. He just stared. He's like, oh, well, based on your family history, this is what you can end up with. Or I'm just like, bro, I'm as healthy as an ox right now.
Wow,
just run the test and get me up out of here. He's like, well, you got a point, just make sure you're active. I'm just like, bro, I'm as active as can be. Trust me. Like, he ain't telling me nothing I ain't heard already. And he's like trying to push me into this like direction where he wants me to start thinking that I'm just not like taking care of myself. But I've been doing a pretty good job considering I didn't have insurance for so long. I've been pretty on top of it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the whole what was the question again? I'm sorry.
What has been,
I'm
you
sorry.
good, you good. What has been the biggest
It's-
change in your life this far?
I feel like life in general has just been like changes, like from when you were born to like now. It's just been changes. Like every year, every season is just a change. Whether we was in high school, adulthood, elementary, no matter, changes. I say like the change that I made when my brother passed, that changed my like whole thought process of like life in general. But when we moved to Cold Springs, it was just an eye opener. I never been across the bridge, never been to Cold Springs.
Yeah.
That's a definitely
That's
Like
a
I
change,
ate
yeah.
Chipotle for the first time.
You talking
That
about eating
changed my
Chipotle. I'm
life.
thinking of dealing with.
I never ate
racist.
Chipotle. I never had Chipotle. I never knew what Chipotle was. When I crossed that bridge and I went to Cold Springs, I found out what Chipotle was. Chick-fil-A, all that. And I was like, wow.
That's why I feel like change happens every single day, every single second.
Oh, yeah.
Change happens, and sometimes we don't even notice it. And I feel like when we do see change or whatever, we just got to take those steps to kind of make the
to
best of that
adjust, yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
And you know,
Well,
roll with it.
I would say we all experienced the ultimate change in the year of 2020. We talk
Yeah.
about COVID. I mean, that's a worldwide change, but I would say for me personally, during that change of COVID, right, going from regular life to COVID, I was transitioning from playing basketball to not playing basketball.
Mhm.
And so I was going through two changes at
the same time.
the same time, and two changes that were difficult. And so now I
Agreed.
look back and I look back and I say, well, you adjusted to that change very well. It may have
Mhm.
took you a while to do that,
Mhm.
but you adjusted. And so why do you guys personally feel like we need change? Because as much as we try to resist it, in a sense, we need it.
Because life is too fast. Everything is going so fast. I'm pretty sure you probably don't realize how much time just flew by the time you were driving on the road. You didn't realize all the scenery you just missed out on. You're not realizing half of the stuff that you're bypassing on a daily basis just by looking at your phone. Go check your screen time real quick. All right. So a lot of times, like when you're like with COVID, right? Everybody was working right before, that 2020, 2019 time. Everybody was working. I'm pretty sure everybody in here was either in school, had a job, wasn't even thinking about, starting their own stuff or whatever. Like
It was going good around that time. It was going perfect.
It was going good,
Like, it
right?
was
I'm pretty
terrific
sure
around that time.
everybody, and the next thing you know, you get slapped in the face. I know me
Yeah.
personally, I got slapped in the face. I was working as an LA fitness manager. I'm sitting here, making enough money to buy a car and buy the things that I like and whatnot. And when that's stripped away from you, you realize, first off, how disposable and how tangible this stuff really is and how easy it can be grabbed from you. Your life could change in a blink of an eye, but also how much you're bypassing by having to, move so fast on a daily basis. Yeah. We sat at home everybody sat at home, at least in South Florida, for 3 months. 3 months. Yeah. From March all the way till May or June. Ask yourself what you did during that time, and I promise you this, a lot of people started talking about how they either started up businesses or they started thinking of new ideas or they got into new hobbies or they started to realize a lot of people left jobs. A lot of people left jobs. Yeah. If you didn't take advantage of that time, that specific change, one, it kind of shows the kind of individual that you are, all right? It shows that you're not willing to thrive under pressure. And also, two, it kind of just shows, that you didn't realize that, the world already was this tangible. Yeah. You realize that you were kind of unaware of the things that can happen. So
I think I definitely agree with you. I think change brings the unexpected, and sometimes the unexpected is what we need. Yeah. So I think going back to what you said about the whole COVID pandemic, that I didn't even remember that, but that did change me. Having to go to wear a mask and stay 6 feet apart from somebody, not being able to see your family members because they say stay in your own household, whatever.
Losing loved ones.
Exactly. Yeah. You couldn't even be around your closest family members because everybody was trying to take the proper precautions to make sure that everybody else was good. And I think though the pandemic did have one benefit though, as you were saying about the business aspect of it, I think us all being at home together for those 3 months or whatever, it allowed us, one, to spend time with our family because everybody is always constantly going and sometimes not always seeing each other. So we actually got that time to be with each other, spend time and laugh and do things that they haven't done in years probably. They didn't even know that they needed. But also realizing that maybe I should start a business, the business that ended up taking off because people, they had time to actually look at that, you know, and now they're working for themselves. They're their own bosses and they don't have to go work for nobody else. So I think it was a big change, but it was a good one.
Yeah. And not only with that, but we talk about losing loved ones, which is a change in itself because you have to adjust to life without them, right?
Right.
So I think COVID and losing loved ones, you learn to be more present and enjoy the time that you do have. And I think, like you guys say, we're always going and going and going. I think COVID allowed us to slow down.
And just enjoy what we had.
So change is difficult to accept and to go forward with. Why, though?
I think a lot of people are unaware to... I'm going to let you get this, Ron. I'm bad. I hate to cut you off.
Yeah, you just cut me off, man. Damn, I want to talk
I think a lot of people are, like, for example, like Ryan said, he lost a brother at a young age. Larry's had to deal with real life health issues that can possibly take off this planet. Like, real quick, at certain times, you realize, like, a lot of people forget how, like, real this stuff is, and they become, like, almost, like, shielded and sheltered away from real life experiences. Yeah. And that's a huge thing. Like, for example, I see people that be like, oh my gosh, like this person passed away from, you know, this car accident. That's so sad. The boy falling from the roller coaster. That's like, people were asking for that video to be taken off the internet because that happened. But
it was brutal.
It's stuff like that. Like, you don't realize that's real life. Like, it happens. What do you think somebody was doing in their last words on a COVID bed? Do you think they were just happy to sit there and they went out peacefully? Or were they probably gasping for air, wondering why it was them?
Yep.
You know, so
what I took from COVID was appreciate life.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why I like what she said.
Yeah.
Like, that, just appreciate whatever you have, like, appreciate it. Like, I was, like, everybody's COVID was different because, like,
of course,
when y'all was inside, I was still outside.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people prior to COVID, too, was they were thinking that they were, like, the main character. Like, you could go through life thinking that you're the main character. You could go through life thinking that this is your world and everybody else is living in it. I'll be real with you real quick. You'll get a real quick news flash when you realize that life goes on directly after you're gone. And, you know, it's just how it is.
Yo, I say that all the time. Like, I look at people, like, people post on social media when their loved ones pass, and I say, like, yo, like, we stop and we say, dang, they just passed. And we just keep on going.
And we act like sometimes it didn't happen. Like, I lost a couple of family members that was close to me during the pandemic. And I also lost a lot of, like, Ryan, you know, Stein passed away because of COVID.
Listen,
and let me tell you something. Stein impacted every single student at JP Taravella. Who, if you needed anything, he was always there for you. That's crazy. And when I heard about that happen, it broke my heart. Like, I felt like I lost. That was family right there.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to do. I was like, dang, what could I do? I couldn't do nothing.
Listen, I've lost somebody. It's like when somebody else loses somebody and you see it and you just keep going, it's like your world keep going. And then it's like I lost a coach too. I lost Miss Pender.
Yep.
When that happened, my world stopped.
Yeah.
Everybody else's life
kept going.
So everybody gets a piece of it in some kind of way. And you just gotta adjust to life.
I think
it's
a huge
hard,
thing too,
but
like,
you gotta do it.
A huge thing too, like, for example, we've all had our losses and whatnot. I lost people at a very young age. I've actually seen some, like, crazy stuff. Like, a lot of people don't know this, but I can vividly remember exactly how one of my best friends when I was young died. Vividly seeing it had to be a 3-ton car, 2-ton car, a GMC truck over his stomach and stopped on his stomach because his stepdad didn't know what he hit. Didn't know what he hit, so he stopped on his stomach. They literally said if he would have just kept rolling over, he might have had a chance. But he stopped the car on his stomach and then proceeded to roll over. It's like, I can vividly remember stuff like that. And I think it's super important that you understand, like, when you do have these losses and whatnot, change, that's a huge change in your lifestyle. Don't minimize it, but tolerate it, all right? So what I mean by that is, like, don't sit there and say, well, it is what it is. You know, that's life. And, it's, you know, it's fucked up, but that's how life is. Don't minimize it and think that you're, like, you shouldn't be down about it, but learn to tolerate that because part of that is true. This is how the life we live in is. All right. Every time I hear about somebody passing away in a car accident and whatnot, going 100 miles per hour, for example, the Henry Ruggs situation. If you see how fast the car was going, and they say the car exploded on impact, and the woman burned alive because it was so hot because the car exploded on impact. You hear that on the news and you read that in the headlines, and it's like, oh, okay, well, that's so sad to hear. Yeah. But imagine being there on that situation, on that scene. They said that he just sat down the curb because what the hell is he gonna do?
It's traumatic.
It's traumatic, and that's my thing. A lot of times, change can be traumatic.
Yep.
And it's how you deal with it after that that's going to either make or break you. You can either think that it's making you by you minimizing the situation, or you can think that it's breaking you by you being the president, but you have to come to an even minimum, like a medium within that, and realize, like, okay, well, I gotta take this situation head on and kind of deal with it and maybe even get help for it, you know?
Yeah, I think resisting change is kind of resisting the process of life.
Yeah.
And it takes more effort not to change. It takes more effort to not go through the changes because, like, there's nothing you can do about it once it happens.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
That's
can't
facts.
allow change to stop you. You have to keep going and take it day by day. It won't be easy. They may be hard as hell, but it's going to make you stronger.
But,
and
like, the whole pandemic, like, my change from, like, the whole pandemic, like, when did it hit?
2019.
Early 2020.
It's
Like,
still
so, like,
here.
we was inside for, like, that summer.
Pretty
Like,
much,
that summer, we was inside for that summer. So, like, that summer, like, that was my money summer. Like,
Wow.
I had so much planned that summer.
Hey, but peep this.
Change.
Before you finish, you're a DJ, right?
Yeah.
People were saying, like, people were really doubting how much. They were like, there's no way to make money right now. I could just sit at home. There's nothing to do. Like, bro, it made you realize how you have to, like, how well you can thrive under pressure. Like, you will find a way.
And
like,
then plus people find, it's Florida too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, people find a way. Like, for that, for months, weekends, bro, all I did was just stripper parties. Weekends, like, every weekend, I'm stripper party.
Yeah.
Everybody stripper party every Saturday. I know for a fact I'm gonna be booked this week Saturday stripper party.
And you know what's crazy? Like, that's why I look at, like, you know, I definitely understand that you want to be cautious about the situation. Like, for example, with the pandemic and how people were really, like, sheltering themselves. But at the same time, like, if you, like, look into it and think, okay, like, am I gonna throw my life away hiding indoors, or am I gonna try to, you know, make the best out of this opportunity? This is either an obstacle or an opportunity.
Oh yeah.
You decide which one it's gonna be.
If you didn't come out like that pandemic change, like something, like you did something wrong. I was in hella meetings. A whole bunch of time. I was in meetings.
But I also think that I'm sorry. I was just saying. I also think that
You're okay. It's okay.
I agree with you, but I'm saying, like, the first 3 months we didn't have a choice. They literally had curfew on roads and everything. But after that, then if you didn't do it, then you did.
Like you had to, like, it just showed me, like, you got to be still outside.
I'm gonna say after that summer, if you were still like sheltered away, like not trying to, like if you were still like, I'm wiping down my groceries when they come into the house. Yeah. I'm still, you know, acting like I ain't got a job and living off of the stimulus check. If you were still doing that, then that's like, okay, well, you know, what are you doing? Because eventually this is gonna come to an end. And I see a lot of people, like, for example, I get DMs on a regular of people who put on, you know, 100 pounds because of the pandemic, and they've just been sitting in the doors for a year straight. And I think to myself, you literally just hit yourself with a double-edged sword. You put your health at risk trying to protect yourself. Yeah. And now, look at you. You're at risk with your health because you were trying to protect your health. Yeah. So it's like you hit yourself with a double-edged sword when you could have still been, there's plenty of things you can do as far as, like, for example, you could have got active and went to a park. Yeah. In an open area. You know,
backyard.
You stepping outside ain't finna, you know, kill you. But my point is improvise. Find an alternative. All right. The fresh air is not going to take you out like during the pandemic. So improvise, and that's what a lot of people didn't do. They didn't improvise and, like Briah said, adapt to that change, or at least try to, you know, go with it. Like I say all the time to myself. I say time flies. You got to fly with it. That's just what it is. So.
Yeah. But, like, do you see how much time do you have in, like, 12 hours?
So I say it all the time. It's not like.
Like, when I get up, like, I have to get up by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, just to get a full day. Like, if I get up at 10, 11, I know I got to be here in Miami DJing by, like, 9 o'clock. So I know at 9 or at 8 o'clock, I got to be on the road coming here. 7 o'clock, got to shower, make sure I got my clothes and stuff ready. Boom, already out. So I know by, like, 7, everything got to get cut off. So now from 7 before that, what am I doing? I got to go to the gym, got to go do my personal life, and then also trying to take care of myself, pay bills, manage. So like what you do in like the adulthood, like for those 12 hours matters.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then like we all live different lifestyles. Like I don't sleep. That's another thing. Like I don't sleep. Like like last night I didn't get home till like 5 o'clock.
Wow.
I didn't get home till 5 o'clock. I left at 9 o'clock. And that's just a regular day. It's a regular day. Sunday is just worse. I don't get home till 10 o'clock. That Monday.
That's crazy. So to keep it on a personal level,
Yeah.
the past year or two, what's the biggest change you've seen within yourself?
I can go. The biggest change I would say is me actually taking my health a lot more serious and watching the certain things I'm eating as well as my physical activity. Mm-hmm. And I would say that's because of Kobe. Like he constantly motivated me to get out and to actually like work on myself. I would always complain and say I'm not happy with the way that I'm looking, but I've always been like that from when I was younger. And it wasn't until he literally just told me like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but what are you going to do to change that? Yeah. And as soon as I started to see what he was doing and how he was improving his health, and I was like, you know what, let me start to do that, because I don't want to be the person that's constantly sick and constantly in the hospital for having seizures and constantly in a flare-up because of the lupus. So actually when I started to like watch what I was eating and, you know, just take better care of my health, that actually, I don't know, it made a difference.
I feel that one. I ain't gonna lie, because when at the beginning of the pandemic, I remember at the beginning of the pandemic, after we were like sitting down, my sister Dapper asked me to work out. My brother was talking about he had put on this, and Lyric was talking about working out and how she didn't like the way she looked. And I was even trying to work out, but I was quitting back and forth. I ain't gonna lie, I kept quitting. I quit for like a whole month straight, like from July until August. I was quitting every other day because I was just so tired and exhausted from doing it. It would hurt when I even ran. Like it would literally physically hurt my shins when I would run. And I just felt like I just couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I remember like one time I was just like I was sitting in the room and like, I just sat down and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I can't like lose any weight. I don't know why. She literally just looked at me and she was like, if you want to do it, then do it. Like, look how you she told me, look how you're eating. Look what you're like. I'm over here thinking, why am I not losing weight when I'm treating myself to a giant Reese's bar every weekend? Like, that explains it all. And it's okay to laugh about it now because it's like, it's funny. But at the same time, think about your mindset in that situation. You feel mentally trapped. Oh, yeah. And when I finally started getting out of it, that was probably the biggest change that I started making. I started seeing that the people around me were starting to do it. She started dropping weight. My brother started dropping weight. My sister started dropping weight. I didn't have to just sit there and say like, oh, y'all, come on. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. I let my actions carry over into my relatives or my friends or family's actions. And I let them see pretty much the work unfold right in front of their eyes. So they think, okay, it is possible. Rather than me say it to them that it is, I would just do it. And from there, it'll happen.
I gotta say, if you have the right crowd of people around you
accountability
and the right people there motivating you every step of the way, you can do anything you put your mind to.
I'll say that, but the biggest change that I definitely had was like amassing a following or a community, I would say, of individuals who either believe in the same thing I believe in or, you know, they want to live that same lifestyle. I used to sit there and say back to myself in 2019, I remember I was working at LA Fitness and one of my managers, he was like, you know, you should start a brand or whatever. Think about, you know, you don't want to be working for the rest of your life. And I was just thinking to myself, how the hell would that even be possible? And he said, he was like, think about this. Instead of you think about doing one thing, like you could be the T-shirt guy. You could be a T-shirt guy. You could be the music guy. You could be whatever you want to be. But would you rather be known for what you do or who you are? And he was like, create a basket of things. That's what he's like, that's what I want to do. And that's literally what I started to do. I started thinking, okay, how am I going to do this? And I would be working out at night, training till, 12, 1 in the morning. She'll be pissed and stuff like that. And I would look at her like, you go ahead. You're not like however you want to classify. I would look at it like you're hating on what I'm trying to do. And that's really what it is. Of course, you don't want to hear that from the people closest to you. But
no, that's true.
You're hating
on
what I'm trying to do. And I'm not going to let that stop me from doing what I really want to do. And I used to tell myself, some way, somehow, it's going to make me some money. I don't know. I'm sitting here jump roping at. Think about this. You see somebody outside jump roping at 1 in the morning. Shadow boxing and jump roping at 1 in the morning, and they talking about how they gonna make money off of it.
Yeah.
Like even my mom would come to me. You need to stop focusing on this and just go get some health insurance. I'm telling you, go get that shot, that vaccine. And I used to be like, bro, you know what? Nah, I'm still gonna do what I do. Like, So I'm gonna get this shit done.
Yeah.
And some way, somehow, it started to work out, and it's still working out. So
And you wanna know what's crazy? What's so crazy is, remember when we started working out?
yeah,
And I just stopped. Like, I think that was like around the time, like I was going through like another like personal problems around that time, but like we was working out, bro. And you said something. It was like the same thing that you're kind of saying like right now. Just get it done.
Yeah,
like, I don't care. Get it done.
exactly.
Like that's everything I do now is like I don't care. I gotta get it done. And then like see, but you have like a support system. Like me is like I be like by myself, bro. That's the only bad part. But you see, like I would say it's bad right now. Like 2019, it was bad. It sucked. I hated it. Like I always be alone. Like I hated it. I hated it. Now I'm not even by myself no more.
I feel that though, because even now, like for example, like Lyric helps me with the recording aspect.
Yeah.
The editing, the me actually planning this stuff out, or what I'm gonna actually do, or what I'm gonna talk about, me making sure I'm putting out the right information, me thinking of new ideas and whatnot. That's typically what I'm trying to do, and because Lyric has her own stuff to worry about. Yeah. I'm not gonna sit here and force her into my vision.
Yeah, but see, y'all like a team.
Yeah, yeah.
Together, it makes a big difference, bro.
But I'll tell you this, I get people that till this, like, you had a guy the other day commented on my post. I said why, I said, damn, my video accidentally got corrupted and deleted, and I got to start all over, so the video will be a little delayed. And he told me straight up, you need to do better, bro. I got to do better? That's an uncontrollable factor, but the fact is, I mean, he's right. I do have to do better. Uncontrollable factor, but they don't realize that it's all on me when I'm doing this stuff. They think because I have a big following, I must have some type of help. I got editors, this and that. They don't realize that I do everything besides the recording aspect. This morning before I showed up, ask Lyric, I was sitting there editing all morning. Once we leave here, I'm going back to editing. From there, I be doing other stuff like research and looking into how to update my guides and content. I'm trying to start online coaching. I'm trying to do all this stuff at one time. But like I told you, I said people don't care about your problems. Yeah. I said just get it done. That's what I said to you. I said people don't care. That's what it was. Nobody cares. If you told me about your problem, I'm sorry to break it to you, I would never care about it more than I care about my own. And that's just how life is.
Changed my whole thought process.
Yeah. Because you can think about a problem in your head, and I promise you this. Let me tell you something. You can have whatever cards in your hand, however you want to have it. All right? Somebody else will look at that hand and play it way better than you.
Yeah. And then you don't even know, like, I could be going something worse. Yep. But it's not as bad as yours.
Exactly. But at the same time, we all measure it differently. Yeah. Your cards in your hand might look horrible to you, but I might be looking at them like, ooh, I wish I had that.
Wish I did.
He got an ace?
Yeah.
He got a joker? Man, throw that down real quick.
So like I appreciate everything now, bro. And I take like full accountability for like everything too. But it also like makes me go harder. Like what I'm saying, like those 12 hours, whatever I'm doing, like if I'm even brushing my teeth,
you make it worth it.
Brushing my teeth like the best right now. Like,
I feel
washing the car, I'm gonna wash the car the best right now. I'm putting them out 110%. So I know like when I'm done, I'm satisfied.
I think one of the biggest things, like when you start to go into, because I remember when I applied to work at Chipotle, got a job, like working at a job like that, or even when I was working at LA, like that was a little bit different because I had to prioritize my time. Like you have to make it worth it while you're there. If you don't, you're not gonna make any money.
I never knew what that meant. I never knew what it meant.
Yeah. But at Chipotle, you're sitting there, and a lot of people have this like idea, like ain't nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5, but you get real caught up in the like it is what it is mindset, and you get real caught up in not learning how to prioritize that time that you actually do have. Like, for example, when I used to train clients, they'll tell me that I don't have any time in the day to measure out this, or I don't have time to cook. What time you get home? I get home at 8, 9 o'clock. I had a client that she would go to work in Miami, in the highest, you see how bad traffic is just now. Imagine that at 6 in the morning. She said she wouldn't get there till 8 a.m. She would work until 5, 6, get back on this side at 7 or 8, work out till 9 o'clock, because that's the time we would usually train around 8 o'clock. She'll work out till 9, do her cardio at 9 to 9:30, get home around 10. From there, she has to shower, do everything else she can, cook, even have any personal time to herself, if she even could. And then by 12 o'clock, she'd be back in bed to wake back up at 6.
But you gotta do it.
And she would walk in every single day with a smile on her face, just smiling.
You gotta love it.
I love it. I'm ready to go. And I look at her like, I'm over here complaining about not having 3 hours to do this, and I'm complaining about me having a 3-hour break and not a 4-hour break, and I'm sitting here like, this woman is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, that's one thing that I feel like that change if you going into stuff by yourself, or that change of you having to actually learn how to prioritize that time, that is what can really make or break some individuals in a lot of aspects.
So, just to wrap up a little bit with this one, we're gonna go into our quick hitters segment. All right, I'm gonna ask y'all a series of questions. Quick answer on your feet.
I don't think people like me for this one.
This is gonna be pertaining to our topic about change. Okay. All right. So, what would you tell your younger self about the idea of change?
Change is gonna be hard.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be easy, but what you decide to do with that change it's all up to you.
It's lit. I like change. I like change. Like, I love it. Like, bro, I just came back from Puerto Rico, bro.
Wow.
Bro, it was lit. I love Puerto Rico. I don't even want to stay here. It was lit. I love change. Everywhere I go, it's change. Let's do it. Whatever I got to do, let's do it. Like, I don't even think I want to plan to, like, stay in Florida. Like, I just want to go travel everywhere.
I feel that.
Change. Let's go get it. It's a lot of stuff out, bro. It's so much stuff out here, bro.
I would say, I'll just say, don't be ignorant to it, because a lot of times ignorance is the reason why people don't like change, because you're ignorant to the situation, which just means you're not aware of what's actually there.
Yeah.
A lot of times people are unaware of what's on the other side. They get anxiety. When they're scared of going back into their past or making the same mistakes they did, they get depressed.
Yeah.
Look, just do it. Right? Just get the job done. Go ahead and jump into it. Learn about the situation if you want to, but don't be ignorant to it. Like, nowadays, if I'm not, like, how do I say this? If I'm not willing to learn about it, then I'm not going to talk against it. If I want to move away to California, I'm not going to, or somebody asks me, would you move to California? I'm going to be like, nah, man, the rent's too high out there. Okay, well, the rent may be high, but what's the cost of living? Like, how much are they making out there?
What's the opportunity?
Exactly. Oh, the minimum wage is $18 an hour. That means if the rent's high, it's matching the minimum wage. And I'm not saying this for facts, but that's how a lot of places are. Okay, well, it's also a high volume area. Yeah. Maybe I can do more, in-person stuff with individuals and get more opportunity. Whatever it may be, I don't really care what it is, but what's the actual opportunity there, rather than sitting there and shunning it automatically and having a biased standpoint because of my own beliefs? How about instead look into it and figure out what's actually best for you?
Yeah. All right, so next one. Biggest fear?
Failing.
Cockroaches.
Probably be like the biggest fear.
I don't like roaches. Keep that shit away from me. I'm
Like,
sorry.
Failing is probably like what keeps me up at night. Like, even when I come home, like, I don't probably, like, okay, I got home at 5 and I still went to go practice. I still had to go download music. Just the thought of, like, it being in the back of my head, I don't want that there. So I'm on it.
I got a for real one this time.
Okay, go ahead.
I think the biggest fear is possibly, only because I've had a couple, like, near-death experiences due to my health conditions. I think the biggest fear is that I won't get in remission, or I won't be able to, like, overcome these health conditions, and I may be in a different predicament down the line. Yeah. And I hope that's not the case. That's why I'm trying to do everything I can to make sure that it doesn't happen.
I would say my biggest fear is not making the most of the little that we do have. That's about it. Because the thing is, like, a lot of reasons, like, I'm not scared of a lot of things because of past experiences and learning about, this, that, and the third. I try to get real knowledgeable on not just, like, things that go down in here, but things that go down in the past, things that can possibly happen in the future, things that happen in other countries. I try to get real educated on that stuff. So a lot of times I'll catch myself just looking at documents or papers or looking at videos from other countries and whatnot. So I'm usually not scared of, like, physical things that are in front of me. But I'll be scared to not make the most of the things that I have been given, the gifts that you've been, pre-selected to have. Like, for example, the fact that I, look the way I do, or I can move the way I do. I would hate to be sitting on my ass and not doing nothing. That's what I'm talking about. So not making the most of the opportunity, that we actually do have.
Yeah. What about you?
Ooh, my biggest fear. Leaving this earth and not being able to empty myself out. I think we're blessed. We have all our limbs.
J. Cole said that. That's tough. That's tough.
We got all our limbs. We got brains that work. We have everything that we ever needed and wanted. And for us to not use that to our fullest potential and give all that we do, everything we have, I want to empty myself out.
I swear to you, bro. You
I
know
like
what's,
that.
You know what's crazy?
Empty myself out.
I said something on I actually took this from Eric Thomas, E.T. Shout out to the legend. But I took this. I put it on TikTok and I said, if tomorrow wasn't promised, what would you give for today? And somebody's like, if tomorrow wasn't promised, why would you do something
Yeah,
today?
you
Like,
told me that. Yeah.
And it's like you realize real quick how that's a very average mindset.
Yep.
Ain't nothing against you for having that mindset, but stay away from me with it.
Yeah.
I blocked the dude. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie, because I don't want that energy towards me. So I
Mm.
think it's real important to protect that
Yeah.
at all costs. If you're really looking to empty out the tank, you got to surround yourself with individuals who are willing to do the same.
Yep.
It's real tough to like let everything go and achieve all you can
Right.
when you're surrounded by very average
Yep.
external mindsets that are just like, hey, it is what it is. This is life. I'm gonna just go to work and I just want to be able to, raise a kid and, keep on going. Like I try not to get
Yeah.
sucked into conversations or do stuff like that. Like I tell her all the time, if I bring kids onto this planet, I want kids to have it all.
Yes.
Because at the same time, I've had it. I've had a lot of things. I've
Yep.
had it all. So that's really like
Yep.
what I.
Last two. What current change in your life do you want to make right now?
I think the biggest change is as far as the current one, I need to graduate college just because, like,
Boy,
mean,
so tired of this
I started,
boy.
I tried to drop out. I ain't tried to drop. I did drop out. I dropped out for like a year and a half. And I just said, I'm going to finish it because I got to finish what I started. I went in for a reason, and even though that reason is not the same as it is now, I might as well make the most of the opportunity. I get a lot of people that laugh at me for being a communication studies major. They're like, oh, well, why would you choose that? You must have chose that because it's easy. Yeah?
am too.
Let me go see you talk to those 40 people over there and
Feel
try
what
to
I'm
convince them
saying?
to buy exactly what you want them to buy. Let me go see you actually talk to your gym crush or your friend over there and see if you can come up with the right language to say. Let me see you look directly at a camera when you talk and actually not be scared. Or better yet, let me see you go into a job interview that you actually wanted and achieve getting that job without just your degree speaking for you. That's the type of stuff that you don't realize that you can be doing when you learn more about how to communicate with individuals.
It's fun. I love it. Like when I be talking to people like on the mic, it's fun. I could be myself. I'm hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's cool, bro. Like I like talking.
Yeah.
That's change. That's another part of change. Talking to people, talking to individuals. Like I talk to people that have money,
That's a change
don't
I
have
had to make,
money.
too.
Like I was talking to what's his name? It's a Wayne's brother.
Who?
Marlon Wayne.
Oh, yeah.
Marlon
Wow.
Wayne. I'm DJing yesterday. DJing. It's regular Thursday. It's a regular Thursday. Shout out to the Smoking Pie. It's a regular Thursday. We're just chilling. He just walks in. Regular.
Wow.
What's good, bro? I'm on the mic. I played the White Chick song. The song from White Chicks.
1,000 miles.
Yeah, 1,000 miles. And I'm just cooling. And we having jokes like we're cooling, bro. And it's you just interact with people,
Yeah.
bro. And like everybody gives you different vibes and different like energies. And like I like that too. Your energy, like you could tell like a lot about a person, like whether
Yes,
it's
by
gonna be
their
a long term,
aura,
short
yes.
term. What am I getting out of this? Like your energy that I'm giving you, I love it, bro. I love energy, talking, but like the whole communication stuff, like that's lit. That's really lit, bro. It's gonna pay off. I can already see it. It's gonna pay off.
For me, I would say just finishing nursing school, which I would graduate next summer, and then moving out to Texas and seeing what I
That's a change.
got out there.
Mm.
Okay.
Texas lit.
Oh, yeah.
Texas lit, and
I've
they
already
love,
been looking at apartments.
They
I'm ready.
mad cheap, and they love Florida people.
Oh, yeah.
They love Florida people, but they lit though. Like
It's
they
beautiful.
don't
It's
sleep.
beautiful
Right,
out
be
there.
everywhere, man. Stop playing.
No, I meet so much different people.
You
like
make a lot of connections.
Yeah.
what?
And those connections introduce you to other connections. And then that
Other
just-
connections, be in different places, and you gotta be at the right place at
Hey,
the
we
right
need
time.
we need Ryan at Barita.
Oh,
No,
Barita.
Yes,
for
sir.
real.
I get
We need a
drunk.
sub, son.
I get
saying, like, we need
drunk.
a
No,
DJ
no, no.
for
You
So-
should have been there
Oh
last
yeah,
week.
DJing or
We need a sub.
yeah, but nah, Barita. I got drunk at Barita. Let me tell you this happened. We gonna go back to the question, but let me tell you what happened, Barita. So I had a DJ. I think a baby shower like at 6 o'clock.
At Barita?
No,
Oh,
later on that day. Nah,
I'll let you finish.
So it was like 2 o'clock, and I'm chilling with my homeboy before he had went to I think he went to the Navy. Yeah, I went to the Navy. So we're just chilling. It was like a regular Sunday. I wasn't even supposed to be there. Like a lot of things that happened, I was not supposed to be there at all. So I'm sitting there, we getting drunk. We had, I think, 3 bottles of mimosa. And this is us, like probably 4 of us. We had 3 bottles of mimosas. So I was new to mimosas. I didn't know what it does to me. I got lit. I was lit by like 4 o'clock. And then we went upstairs to Bar Rita. And I'm like, whoa, like I see a whole bunch of beautiful women.
At least it's respect about it.
Yeah, we got drinks. And you know, I'm vibes, so I'm just chilling, talking to them, you know, talking shit, like, what's up? Like, we outside. We taking shots. Took a shot of Henny. Don Julio. Casamigos, when Casamigos was lit. And bruh, like, I love Bar Rita. I love Bar Rita. It has the vibes. It really does. Especially on Sundays. Oh my gosh, it has the vibes.
Yeah, lately it hasn't been.
Oh, she hasn't?
It's because the DJ.
It's
But
the DJ.
Anyway.
She has to go.
Last one though. If you had to pick, childhood or adulthood, which one?
I choose adulthood. Even though it's tough, it's lit.
I would choose
Facts.
childhood. I say childhood because I would probably do a couple things a little bit different that would kind of make my adulthood a lot different.
I would say adulthood. I feel like a lot of people want to go back to their childhood because of like the innocence that
Yeah.
have.
Yes.
You don't realize how much control everybody else had over your life and choices. Like,
Facts.
first off, you
That's
gotta wake
right.
up
I
every
like
single
it.
morning just to go to school, to learn and develop an education you will never use a day in your life.
Telling
You're
you.
literally just learning how to work, you know, within the system they want you to work in.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just like, I wouldn't want to go back to that. What I will say is, I would stick around young adulthood. I would
Yes.
I would stay between, if I could keep bouncing between 18 and 21 for the rest of my life,
Yeah.
I'll go to college and everything. I'll show up to classes and whatever I got to do. But I promise you this, I'll do that any other day because at least you get to choose your schedule. You get to determine what you want to learn. And you get to actually live that lifestyle of being on your own or whatever. So get the best of both worlds with that one.
Yeah.
I actually heard that question asked somewhere. I forgot what that was. Somebody just asked that on TikTok or something.
I got that off the, you know, I was preparing my notes. I'm like, dang, that's a good question. Childhood or adulthood?
No, somebody had just
But
asked
put
that.
me in the middle though. Like you
Yeah.
said, put me in the middle.
Nah, you can't.
I didn't know
you
middle
can't.
was an option.
Yeah, it's not an option. It's
Young
not.
adult.
We'll go
No,
adulthood,
she's choosing
though.
adulthood,
We'll
but
go
she's
Oh,
just
so
saying
it's
young
in-
adulthood.
in-
So
in-
she's just choosing like,
the younger stages of adulthood.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
because
okay.
I ain't got nobody asking me
Well,
no
what about the high
questions.
school?
Where you going?
Yeah,
What you
high
eating?
school was pretty lit.
High school owed me nothing.
I'm sorry if I keep saying lit, but like, it's crazy how much of a lifestyle I was living. Like, and I look back on it, I was like, wow, that was pretty fun that I did.
Oh my God, Ryan, I just deleted some videos that you did in high school. I don't know, remember if you remember those videos? Do you remember when you was like acting a fool?
In Mr. What's it called? I hated that
just
class, but that's my
deleted
dog.
them.
You know, I saw him at a reggae party the other day. It was so crazy. Like, I'm chilling in the back. I'm with my, I'm chilling in the back, relaxing, doing me. And I just look, I'm like, who is this tall black guy? I'm like, he looks so familiar because you know how he had his little walk, a little pimp walk. So I'm like, oh yeah, I know him. So he turns around, he's like, I'm like, yo, what's good, bro? He's like, oh my God, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm enjoying myself. But yeah, like
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Yeah.
I didn't even know his name. I said, what's good, bro? Like, I tell everybody, what's good, bro? But Mr. Anderson, that was my guy. Even though I hated his class, I cheated. I cheated my whole way.
Oh,
Oh,
you
but
put
we
yourself
still
out
all
there.
failed.
Yeah.
The whole class failed.
Nah, I didn't. I got a C. I passed. Mom, I did it. Mom.
All right, man. Wrapping up. That wraps up another episode of Boxing One, the podcast. I appreciate y'all being here,
Yeah.
man.
Whole gang
It's so
outside.
much better when everybody on set can vibe and has a connection like this. It's lit. This was lit. I
Oh, yeah.
appreciate y'all, man. I'm Briah.
I'm Lyric.
Kobe.
I'm DJ Run It. Make sure you guys follow me on all social media platforms. Follow
I'll
the
put it in there,
podcast
man. I
as
got
well.
you. Sure.
Don't make me come find y'all, because I will be DJing in the venue next to you very soon.
Thank you guys for watching.
But no. Before we get out of here,
She ended it. What do you?
How? She can't end it. I end it. Oh, you got to get
Take
a
control,
slogan.
bro. You got it. You got it.
We got to get a slogan. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get a slogan for y'all.
Oh my God.
So let me ask you guys one more question before we get out of here. How's everybody been? Like, how's everybody? 'Cause I haven't seen y'all in so long. Like, how's everybody been?
Man, listen, better than I ever been, bro.
That's good. Cause you know we have ups and downs, but like, how has everybody been? Like,
Better than I ever been. Listen, this week, like, this is kind of going over, but like,
hey,
it's all right.
it's content.
Like, it's a good
Oh, yeah.
question. Like, this week, like, my spirit was down this week for some reason. I don't know why. Like, I'm able to identify when my spirit is down.
Your sign is in retrograde. That's what all the zodiac signs.
Are you bringing up signs, man?
No, we're not doing
No,
signs.
I'm saying that's what they would have
no.
said.
Nah, but for real, my spirit was down this week, and like, I don't know, I'm able to just identify like when my spirit is down, but like, bro, doing this with people that I love and like enjoy being around, bro, y'all bring me up, bro. I appreciate
I'm telling you,
y'all.
like, you stay at this though, Bree, like, you will see like the change. You will see a change, cause I already see it, but like you probably won't see it, but like you'll see a change. You really will, cause like people love podcasts. I love podcasts because I get to wind down and just relax and see like what's going on in
Appreciate it, bro.
the world, people's lives.
How y'all doing though, real quick?
Mentally, physically, doing a lot better than I was last year for sure.
Yeah,
And I'm just again continuing to grow and go with the change.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Roll with the river, don't fight with the rocks.
I mean,
Sure.
Colbster,
Oh my gosh, get out of here.
that's my boy.
Call
Colbster.
him that.
I would say, I mean, I think I'm doing pretty average, I would say, just because I'm not doing nothing I didn't expect to be doing. What I'm doing like right now, as far as like is in life, I thought I wouldn't do till I was like 24, 25.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that it's happening ahead of the schedule, because like I just be thinking like, damn, I'm actually doing like, and a lot of times I be thinking like, I don't know if y'all ever be like sitting down, realizing all the stuff you're doing, how fast you be moving. You probably be feeling like 28 and 30 years old.
Yeah.
And it's not that you feel like that's not
No,
old,
yo.
but you be feeling like so much time has passed by. You look back and be like, oh shit, I just
Yo.
graduated high school 4 or 5 years ago. Oh, I just
Bro, the players I coach, bro, they just asked me the other day. One of them asked me, how long you been out of high school? I'm like, 2 years. I'm like, wow.
And it's just like you be realizing real
Fascinating.
quick, like it seems like
Like,
it's happening
whoa.
like so fast, but at the same time I'd be like, that's not really fast. Like I'm actually like still very, 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 very young. Like people still call me a child half of the time. That's disrespectful, but people still say, oh, you're just a baby. Like, oh,
I hate hearing that, bro. I ain't no
I don't
baby.
mind it because I'd be like, well,
I ain't
you
no
know
baby.
what?
Don't
I'm
play.
glad
with
you're saying that, because when I get to 27, 28, they're gonna like people already think that I'll be 27, 28. So I'm glad they think I'm like 5 years like
Yeah.
behind,
Yeah.
because that means I'm like 5 years ahead. Like so.
Oh.
So I don't even get like what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So I'd be like, oh, that means I'm doing something that I could have been doing at that age.
Wow.
Or I looked at, so.
Yeah.
Another J. Cole. We have another J. Cole moment. But I'm not gonna lie, like, I know this is off topic too, but like, did you guys hear about Gaten, bro?
Who?
Gaten?
Nah.
Y'all know about Gaten? You don't remember Gaten? Hip-hop?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
yes. I saw it. I talked to my cousin about it, and all I know is that his parents just found him. That's all
Like,
I know.
It's so crazy. Like,
And I had class, actually, he had class with Mr. McIntosh, which is actually their cousin.
What?
He was in our class.
Sure.
It was a couple of us, and then it was him. And I know, when I was water girl at Terravella,
Yeah.
I always was around the football players, so I always was around him. I don't know. I just never thought that.
Gaten, like, he used to record me. Like when we go out, like when I go out and DJ, he would record me. And like, like how we'll look at us and we'll be like, damn, bro, we got to work on this. We got to work on that. Like, Gaten would look at me, bro, and he'll be like, bro, I wish I could live your life. And then a week later, boom. And I didn't hear from him. And then I went to the funeral, and I'm just like, wow, bro, like, I got to really appreciate this. Like, whatever I'm doing, I appreciate it. I go 110%, I appreciate it. Whatever I'm doing, whatever you guys are doing out there, appreciate it. Go 110%, because you never know when it's going to be your last. And then, like, you don't know the impact that you have on people. Like, even though I'm a DJ, bro, like, people just come to me just to watch. People watch my Instagram just to laugh. And that brings me satisfaction, because I like doing that, because
Like
it
I
just
said,
makes people
yeah.
laugh.
You look at your cards like you hate them, and somebody else will come back in
Yeah.
and wish that they had them. They'll be wishing to play
Life.
your hand.
It's pretty good all the time, even when it's bad. Because, like, I had a bad week. I had a bad week when I came back from Puerto Rico. Oh, I had a bad week. But I pushed through.
I don't even want to say it.
But I pushed through. Like, I just kept going. Like, whatever I'm going through, whatever you guys are going through out there, keep going. Just don't stop. Because it gets easier. It doesn't, but it does. If you get what I'm saying.
It gets more manageable. I want to say
Yeah.
it's easier.
It gets easier. It gets easier because, like, you just start picking up things. Like, prioritizing your time. Schedules are very important.
Yeah.
Schedules, like
That's true.
locking out your time, is very important.
Yeah.
Well,
What's up, Will?
Sorry, I just got one last thing.
What's
I
up,
know
Will?
we over,
yeah,
but
over.
I'm
Oh, we
just
over?
saying, like, for
Right, we
people
got another episode.
listening, just one thing I would say is check on your people, because that one text can definitely change somebody's life.
Yeah.
Sure.
You don't even know.
Yeah. That wraps it up.
We
That's
out
a solid-
ya.
Thanks for watching the
Sorry.
podcast, guys.
For sure.
We're gonna have a slogan very soon.
So proud of you, Briah.
Thank you.